2:19 p.m. 29 ballistic missiles erupt from Iranian launch sites along the coast. The target? USS Thomas Hudner, a lone American destroyer operating in the Strait of Hormuz. In Tehran's military command center, generals are smiling. Analysts are nodding. They've run the simulations. 29 missiles against one ship. The math is simple. The outcome is certain. Except nothing about the next 7 minutes will go according to their plan. And what happens when those 7 minutes end will haunt Iranian military leadership for years to come. Because Tehran didn't just attack a warship, they woke up a sleeping giant. And giants don't forgive. The USS Thomas Hudner was conducting freedom of navigation operations, standard mission, routine patrol, the kind of thing American destroyers do every single day in contested waters around the world. Her crew of 290 sailors was professional, alert, but not expecting imminent combat. The morning briefing mentioned elevated tensions. Intelligence suggested increased Iranian military activity, but nothing indicated what was about to unfold. Commander David Park, the ship's captain, was in his quarters reviewing operational reports when the alarm sounded. Not the practice alarm, not a drill. The real thing. The sound that makes every naval officer's blood pressure spike because it means one thing: incoming threat. He reached the Combat Information Center in 14 seconds flat. The radar screen told a story that shouldn't have been possible. Multiple launches detected, tracking inbound, all converging on a single point. His ship, 29 ballistic missiles, each one carrying enough explosive power to cripple or sink a warship, all screaming toward the Hudner at speeds exceeding Mach 5. Iran hadn't just fired a warning shot. They'd launched everything they had in that sector with one goal: eliminate an American warship and send a message that would shake Washington to its core. But here's what they didn't understand. Here's where their intelligence failed them. The USS Thomas Hudner isn't some outdated vessel limping through her final deployment. She's one of the newest Arleigh Burke-class destroyers in the fleet, equipped with the most advanced Aegis combat system ever installed on a warship. And her crew had trained for exactly this scenario in simulators, so realistic they might as well have been fighting real missiles. The difference? Now the missiles were real, and so were the consequences of failure. Weapons free, engage all threats, show them what American engineering looks like. The vertical launch cell opened. 64 cells arranged in groups across the forward and aft sections of the destroyer, each one loaded with SM-2 and SM-6 interceptor missiles, each one ready to turn Iranian aggression into expensive fireworks. The first interceptors launched with a roar that shook the entire ship. White contrails carved paths through the afternoon sky as American missiles raced to meet the Iranian threat. The Aegis system wasn't just tracking the incoming missiles, it was predicting their trajectories, calculating optimal intercept points, prioritizing targets, making decisions faster than any human operator could possibly process. This is what separates American naval technology from everyone else. It's not just good, it's decades ahead. The first intercepts occurred at 40,000 feet. Iranian missiles meeting American interceptors at combined closing speeds that defy comprehension. The explosions were massive, bright orange fireballs that could be seen from the Iranian coast. One threat eliminated. 3, 7, 10. Inside the Combat Information Center, sailors watched the threat board like their lives depended on it. Because they did. Every blip that disappeared meant one less missile trying to kill them. Every successful intercept meant the system was working. The training was paying off. The technology was performing exactly as designed. But Iran had planned for this. Their missiles weren't all following the same flight path. Some were flying high. Some were sea skimming, barely 10 meters above the water. Some were executing evasion maneuvers. They'd studied American defensive capabilities and designed this attack to exploit perceived weaknesses. Perceived being the key word. The Aegis system tracked them all. High-altitude threats engaged by SM-2 missiles. Low-flying threats met by SM-6 interceptors capable of sea-skimming interception. Maneuvering warheads tracked and eliminated with computational precision that Iranian weapons designers thought impossible. 15 intercepted. 20, 25. 4 missiles remained, all of them equipped with terminal guidance systems, all of them diving toward the Hudner in the final phase of their attack. This is where most defensive systems fail. 4 missiles remained, all of them equipped with terminal guidance systems, all of them diving toward the Hudner in the final phase of their attack. This is where most defensive systems fail, where the speed and complexity overwhelm human operators, where split-second decisions mean survival or catastrophe. The Aegis doesn't get overwhelmed. The evolved Sea Sparrow missile system activated. Medium-range defense, faster reaction time, designed specifically for threats that penetrate the outer defensive layer. 2 more Iranian missiles disintegrated in midair. 2 left. The range closed. 1,000 meters. 800. 600. Close enough now that sailors on deck could see them. Could watch death approaching at speeds that turn steel into shrapnel and sailors into statistics. The Phalanx close-in weapon system locked on. The last line of defense. The final chance. 6,000 rounds per minute of computer-guided tungsten fury. It fired. The sound is something you feel in your chest, in your bones. A mechanical scream that drowns out everything else. The first missile was shredded at 400 meters. The second made it to 300 meters before it ceased to exist as anything recognizable. Debris splashed into the Strait of Hormuz, the shockwaves rattled the ship, and then, nothing. 29 missiles launched, 29 missiles destroyed, perfect interception rate, 0 damage to the USS Thomas Hudner, 0 casualties, 290 American sailors who just survived what should have been impossible. And that's when Tehran's nightmare really began. Because what Iranian commanders didn't know, what their intelligence completely missed, was that the Thomas Hudner wasn't alone. 15 miles to the south, invisible to Iranian radar, the USS Florida, an Ohio-class guided missile submarine, had been tracking the entire engagement, and she was loaded with 154 Tomahawk cruise missiles. The order came through encrypted channels, presidential authorization, rules of engagement updated. Every Iranian military installation involved in the attack was now a valid target. The submarine's commanding officer didn't hesitate. Fire mission authorized. Prosecute all designated targets. Tomahawk missiles began launching from the Florida's vertical tubes. Not 1, not 5. 48 cruise missiles erupted from beneath the surface of the Gulf, each one programmed with precise GPS coordinates of Iranian military infrastructure. The missiles flew low. Terrain-hugging profiles that kept them invisible to radar until the final seconds. Subsonic but relentless. And when they reached their targets 2 hours later, they struck with accuracy that redefined precision warfare. 12 Iranian military bases, every single installation that participated in the missile attack, radar sites that tracked the Hudner, command centers that authorized the strike, the missile batteries themselves, ammunition depots, maintenance facilities, every piece of infrastructure that made the attack possible. Gone. Simultaneous strikes, coordinated detonations, 12 military installations reduced to burning rubble in less than 3 minutes, and Tehran's military leadership watched it happen in real time on their own surveillance systems. Iran's 12 bases, they're craters now, smoking monuments to the single worst decision their military leadership made this year. 29 missiles fired, 12 bases destroyed in response. That's not just a failed attack, that's a lesson in what happens when you miscalculate American resolve. Therefore, some details in the video are hypothetical. Our goal is to analyze military technology and warfare for educational and entertainment purposes. What you think about it, leave your comments below.